Hello everyone, Therese Lawler here. So why was TEFL a good choice for me? TEFL was a good choice for me because I got a graduate degree. I got a master's in education, media design, and technology through Full Sail University. I learned how to teach through that program, and it got me thinking about teaching English as a foreign language. So I got a TEFL certificate online. However, I did not feel confident enough to actually go abroad to teach. I knew how to teach, but I hadn't ever really lived in a foreign country besides the Philippines, where I had grown up from birth till age 10. So I didn't use my TEFL certificate. I thought about going to Thailand, but I didn't feel confident enough to go to Thailand with my online TEFL certificate. I didn't feel confident enough in the classroom. I didn't really have classroom experience. I had taught people one on one, but not a whole class. So I decided to volunteer with Maximo Novel, and then I did a TEFL course in Manuel Antonio. And during that TEFL course, I really got a lot of teaching experience. I had students who came in every week that I taught a class to for about, half an hour to an hour. It all depended on what our class was going to be about. And I really got to learn how to not only teach, but how to teach in a way that would really help my students learn English. And I also was able to learn how to control my students once, they just were not paying attention anymore, or I learned how to, speed things up if we were running out of time. I learned how to slow things down if the students were having issues learning a topic, and, go deeper into like why, this type of word is, pronounced this way, and, just go through all sorts of little details. What are adjectives, and like really go into all the different types of ways you can use adjectives. What are adverbs, so on and so forth. So my practice time during my TEFL course was really key in helping me gain confidence with teaching students, um, with Academia Europea. So definitely it was a great choice for me. Now I wanted to go over some key points about TEFL. I created a PowerPoint to talk a little bit more about it, and help you, my audience, possibly go into teaching English as a foreign language, and not just go into teaching English as a foreign language, but go into TEFL, with Costa Rica. Why choose Costa Rica? So yeah, I think this will be a great video for everyone to watch, because when I first started looking at places to, volunteer, teach, and then possibly do TEFL course, and it was actually China. I wanted to volunteer teach through IVHQ in Xi'an, China, and I applied to the Xi'an, China IVHQ Volunteer Teach Program. And I finished the application, but once I did my interview, they told me that I had to get a visa to mainland China, and that I needed to go to San Francisco to do this. And then I did the math, and I was like, it's going to be expensive to get my visa for China to volunteer teach there. It would have been like a few $100s to like go to San Francisco, stay in San Francisco, go to my appointment for my visa for China, and then, um, come back here. I had never driven to San Francisco back then, so my only option would have been to fly to San Francisco. Um, I would have been very hesitant to drive to San Francisco. Um, I hadn't even driven to Sacramento. Mind you, I've driven from like Rochester to Florida, but that was in the East Coast, and I had a friend to do that with. If I had driven from Red Bluff to San Francisco, I would have driven that by myself. Now I've driven to San Francisco, and I did so with the help of a friend, for, just sightseeing. But yeah, last year there was no way I was going to be driving to San Francisco, and I was not going to be able to afford flying to San Francisco, getting a hotel in San Francisco, then flying back. So I just picked a random country, and that I had been interested in. So it was, Costa Rica, Colombia, um, Bali. I didn't know, but I ended up picking Costa Rica. So, what is a TEFL certification? TEFL stands for Teaching English as a Foreign Language. It allows you to teach English in a foreign country like Costa Rica. So, in Costa Rica, the students speak Spanish and they need to learn English. Costa Rica will bring in TEFL teachers from the United States to teach the students English so that the students can hear the teacher speak in an American accent and learn how to speak English with an American accent. Um, a TEFL certification is proof that you know how to teach English. It's proof that you've gone through the TEFL curriculum, and you know how to speak English, you know how to teach English in a classroom, and you know how to gain control of your students, you know how to give them grades, and you know how to do all sorts of different kinds of things to help the students learn. For example, you can, you know, make paper boats, for example, which is what I did for my class, to then, help your students learn how to follow directions. So for my first lesson, I taught my students how to make paper boats, and I showed them how to make the paper boat. I also gave them instructions on how to make a paper boat, and so they learned all sorts of new vocabulary, and they learned how to create a paper boat as well. So it's not just about learning English, it's also about how do you make learning English fun? And you learn about all the different ways to do that during your TEFL class. And you can use pictures, you can act things out, and these are all things that all of us know how to do, and we've seen our teachers do it. But it's different when you actually learn about it and why that methodology works, and then you get to practice doing that in front of your students. So why get a TEFL certificate? You will learn the correct teaching methods to teach English. I know it seems easy, and anyone can teach English, but there are a lot of different methods, and having a teacher um, teach you how to teach your class is really an important thing for a lot of people to have. For me, it was really important to see my teacher, teach in a fun way. And then I, was able to learn from her how I'm supposed to sound, how I'm supposed to act, how I'm supposed to write on the board. So that was really fun for me to learn. You can get practice teaching. I know, most of you probably have not had practice teaching, which is fine, but your TEFL course will allow you to have that practice time. And my first teaching experience during my TEFL course, like it was a little bit scary, but as time went, it definitely got easier. You will gain confidence teaching in a classroom. I had my Foundation Mohair volunteer experience, which really helped. But that extra experience during my TEFL course really helped me once I went out to teach in Academia Europea. You will learn how to gain control of your classroom. Kids often will lose focus, and it's up to you as the teacher to reel them back in and really, get them to focus so that they can understand the topic that you're teaching. Most TEFL courses help you get placement after you are certified. So you will get placement. My TEFL teacher gave me a lot of different places to go to apply, and I applied to Academia Europea, and that ended up being such an awesome experience for me. You will also be able to use, your teacher and other people that are, in that program. You can use them as a reference. For me, I was able to use my volunteer bosses as my reference. I had a boss and I had a field manager that went out there and helped me volunteer at Foundation Mohair that I was able to then use on my resume, and that helped me get a job. A TEFL certificate will help you qualify for a higher paying teaching job. A lot of people out there want that higher paying teaching job, and a lot of them have bachelor's degrees, they have TEFL certificates, and they also have years and years of experience. So they're going to be the first ones that the people who are hiring are going to look into. So you want to be able to compete with them. Yes, you can, get a job without a TEFL certificate teaching English abroad in a place like Thailand or something, but it won't be that big of a salary. It won't pay as much, and so, you need that higher paying job, and that higher paying job is most likely looking for someone with a TEFL certificate. Requirements for teaching abroad. Requirements for teaching abroad vary. It all depends on the country. So, United Arab Emirates is going to be stricter than Thailand. South Korea might be stricter than United Arab Emirates. So it's up to you to really figure that out. Um, I did a lot of research online, and I found that Costa Rica was not as strict, and definitely that worked in my favor because I was able to get a job right away after I finished my TEFL course. So it all depends on what you're looking for. If a country has a lot of requirements, a lot of times though they will pay more. Definitely do your research. A bachelor's degree along with a TEFL certificate is often required. A lot of schools are looking for someone who's gone to college and has graduated with any bachelor degree. So, then, if you have a liberal arts bachelor's degree, like that will do, and you just need a TEFL certificate, and then you'll be able to teach. Teaching experience may also be required. A lot of schools are looking for teachers that have taught at least 1 year. But there are schools that are looking for teachers that haven't taught before. So it all depends. Some countries require a medical exam. I believe China requires medical exams. So you really need to pass their medical exams. Some countries require a background check. United Arab Emirates will probably require a background check. Um, Costa Rica did not require me to have a background check, but I already had a background check for Maximo Nivel volunteer program. So it all depends. A lot of schools may look for these types of things, um, and it's up to you to be able to meet these requirements. So make sure to do your research first when picking out a country to apply to. So yeah, there are lots of places online that you'll be able to get a lot of information about what the requirements are, all over the world for teaching TEFL. More about requirements for teaching English. So some countries will require you to have a TEFL certificate, but other countries may be looking for TESOL, CELTA, or Delta. So it all depends. You have to find out what they're looking for and have that certificate ready. Most countries require you to have a work visa. China, Vietnam, South Korea. So yeah, you'll have to check, you know, with your school as to what the requirements are. Most countries will need a proof of your bachelor's degree. You need to bring them your diploma and have that ready there. Most countries will need proof of previous teaching experience. You need to be able to show proof that, in the past you were teaching at Academia Europea. They'll need to maybe contact your previous supervisor. How did I get a job? Well, I got a list of places in San Jose, Costa Rica that were looking to hire TEFL teachers. And so I applied to a lot of them. But one of them that I applied to was Academia Europea. And Academia Europea replied to me, letting me know that I had a video interview. So I interviewed with them online through Google. And I then came in for training, and then I started with a few classes, and then I got more classes, and I was able to teach there for a month and a half. Yeah, Google Chat lets you do video chat, and that was a great place for me to be able to talk to the person who was hiring at Academia Europea, and I was able to get my foot in, and that was a really cool thing to be able to do.